Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome to New York City on this beautiful Tuesday, excuse me. It's been a long day and it's pretty humid out. Extremely humid. It's about 87 degrees here in Midtown Manhattan. Let's check the humidity. Wow, 76% humidity. Pretty crazy. Now, this is the weather I like, but it feels very, much more humid, let's just say, than when I was in Miami. So we'll get started here in a moment, everyone. Appreciate you joining. Apologies for being late, but had to do some stuff. So we'll get started here in a moment. Thanks everybody. Everyone, I think we'll just go ahead and get started. So good evening and welcome back to Walks in Wall Street. Today is Tuesday, July 9th, 2024. The current time is 10:01 p.m. and we are reporting live directly outside of the Sherry Netherland Hotel, Central Park South, and the Plaza. Now, today we heard from Fed Chair Jerome Powell as he did his testimony. And this is going to be a very busy week, but it's going to start to get busy towards the tail end of the week, as we know. A few things. Earnings season starts up here once again on Friday. We have some of the major Wall Street mega banks. They will be reporting earnings. I believe we kick things off with Jamie Dimon, JP Morgan Chase, is going to be reporting on Friday, Citi, and then Bank of Mellon, New York. Now, as we know, earnings season always kicks off at the major financials, and a lot of times we could use the big banks' earnings as a leading economic indicator in and of itself, right? Particularly as it relates to consumer spending, credit card spending, credit card debt and delinquencies. In the next issue of the Behind the Street newsletter, we'll be doing a deep dive into the 30, 60, 90-day delinquencies on consumer debt from JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Citi, Amex, and Discover. But we can also gauge a little bit of the housing market, see how the housing market is doing with loan originations, demands for mortgages in the United States, which, by the way, is at all-time record lows, because the housing market's pretty much frozen, not too many deals being done. And then obviously we're going to finish the week with some inflation data. So we're going to hear from the Bureau of Labor Statistics as they release the CPI report on Thursday, and then Friday to finish off the week, we're going to get the PPI. Now, we heard from Fed Chair Jerome Powell today as he was testifying. I would highly advise everyone to watch that. Nothing too special out of that report. He did make some comments on the housing market that, maybe you're taken out of context, but he essentially said that housing should return to pre-pandemic levels once inflation gets back down to that 2% target. Now, a lot of people are interpreting this as, okay, well, if that's the case, if housing is going to return to pre-pandemic levels, well, that means you're going to see 20 to 30% haircuts across the board in terms of valuations. I don't think we'll see that. I think we'll see transaction volume tick up, and you're already starting to see prices decline, particularly here in Manhattan and across the country. Beautiful shot of the GM building as well as 432 Park Avenue and the Trump Tower in black. So let's see who we have in the chat, and then we'll go ahead and get started. But I apologize for being late yet again. Dan Sang is here. Sabrina Fair, what's up? Sally, Tyler Silva. Good to see you. Darlington, we just looked at the Trump Tower. Tiger's here. Shannon, welcome, welcome. Professor Dario, what's going on? Oh, speaking of Argentina, I'd like to say congratulations to all of our viewers from Argentina, because tonight the Copa America game between Argentina and Canada resulted in a 2-0 victory to the Argentinians. And I think Messi scored in the 55th minute. I wasn't watching the game live. I was busy working tonight. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch the highlights when I get back home. So wow, looks like Messi may win another championship. Kind of crazy. Now, what would be interesting, not to kind of go down this rabbit hole on soccer, but how fantastic would it be if Messi, well, he won the World Cup, right? The last World Cup, Argentina won. What if they go on to win Copa America, and then they go on to win the World Cup again? I mean, what a career that would be for Messi. Now, it's not clear if Messi is going to play in the World Cup. I'm not too sure, but I think he will, assuming that he stays healthy. Anyway, great performance tonight from Argentina. Pretty cool. Everyone, let's go ahead and blast all the way down to Columbus Circle, 59th Street, the Deutsche Bank Center, as well as One Central Park West, which is the Trump International Hotel and Tower. We're currently passing a few interesting hotels. If you guys are visiting New York and you want to stay right on Central Park, but you don't want to pay the big dollars, right? I would stay here, the Park Lane Hotel. It's quite nice, and they just renovated it. So during the pandemic, they did a full gut renovation on this hotel. It's called the Park Lane, and it's right next to the Plaza, but it's about a fraction of the Plaza Hotel's price. And also a fraction of the Ritz-Carlton Hotel price at 50 Central Park South. This is also the residences at Ritz-Carlton too. This is my favorite neighborhood in New York City, Central Park South. I'd say this, if you ever get the opportunity, oh, look at this dachshund. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with those dogs. I really, really wanted to get a dachshund so bad. But then I wound up getting a beagle. I don't know what I was saying. Oh yeah, Central Park South. So if you ever get the opportunity to move to New York, I think there's nothing like living on Central Park South, because the experience of being able to wake up, right? Waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning, just literally walking outside, seeing the sun rise over the east side of Manhattan, going for a run in Central Park. It's just an amazing experience. And some of the buildings here for rent are actually kind of affordable for Central Park South. Like 106 Central Park South. It's an older building, but it's very well kept. I think studios there start at about $3,000 a month, but I think it's worth it. Ellis is here. Sarah, what's up? Alan, good to see you. And if you're just joining, it is a humid night. It's almost 80% humidity, like 76% humidity, and 87 degrees in Manhattan. So it feels like the stereotypical Miami weather in the summer. It's pretty crazy. Jeff W277 says, I'd rather live on Central Park North or Cathedral Parkway for less money. I wouldn't personally. That's so far away. It is beautiful up there, but it's so convenient to live on Central Park South because you walk 2 blocks, you're at Columbus Circle, you can get to wherever you need. And let's say if you work in Midtown, you just blast right down Avenue of the Americas, Radio City Music Hall, Rockefeller Center, all the best steakhouses like Del Frisco's, Capitol Grill. I mean, it's just an amazing, amazing place to live here at Central Park South. It's unreal, unbelievable. And I think I'll move back. I think the next apartment I get, or let me rephrase that. When I purchase something in Manhattan, it's gonna be Central Park South, for sure. It's just such a great neighborhood to live. Let me catch up on some of the comments. Hey, Rich New Yorkers here, what's up? Al Berg says, Tom, it's also humid on Long Island. I can imagine, but the good thing about most parts of Long Island is you get a pretty nice breeze, particularly if you're on the South Shore near the ocean, which is great. Briner, what's up? Solo 401, hopefully you had a good day. Michael, good to see you. Welcome. Now, let's take a little bit of a detour here, everyone. Before we go all the way to Columbus Circle, I actually want to check on one thing. Let's check to see if the garage doors are open at Steinway Tower. So if you're new to the live broadcast, this building, this massive one sticking up, is Steinway Tower. It's the skinniest residential apartment building in the entire world, and it only has 60 residences. And they have this beautiful, beautiful valet/rotunda. And sometimes they have the garage doors open, sometimes not, but just the architecture, it's just very, very beautiful. So on the off chance that it's open, we'll be able to take a look. And I'd like to share that with you. But it was a pretty muted day on Wall Street in terms of price action, right? I don't really think too much is going to be happening from now until Thursday. It's the summer, number one, after the 4th of July. So volume is really tame and timid across the board, right? All the big dogs are out in the Hamptons and Connecticut. Everyone's really out of the office, right? In terms of the composite operators that move the market. And everyone's waiting on the inflation print. Well, 2 inflation prints. The CPI print, Consumer Price Index, that's going to come out this Thursday, and then PPI. And then we're going to hear from JP Morgan Chase, Citi, and all of the major Wall Street mega banks as they kick off earnings season. This is a pretty cool shot on Billionaires Row. You see Steinway Tower, you see 157, and you see Central Park Tower. But this is the garage, or the main rotunda. It doesn't look like the doors are open, unfortunately, but let me try to give you guys a cool view. But oftentimes, Billionaires Row is about privacy, and it's about exclusivity. So you can drive in here with your vehicle, whether you have your driver. You never have to step foot on the street, and you just walk all the way to the back, and you can take the elevator up to your apartment, which is quite cool. Now look at those chandeliers inside. They're beautiful, right? So here you see Steinway and Sons. And one of the cool things, if you go to Street Easy and you look at any of the apartments, okay, here at Steinway Tower, 111 West 57th Street, I want you to look at some of the photos of the kitchens. Now, one of my friends told me that if you look at the cabinetry in the kitchens, it's supposed to resemble keys on a piano. And when you see it, you could really tell that, wow, what a very, very interesting detail there. Super, super interesting. So everything is meant to reflect a piano, because obviously this is Steinway. So here's the main door. So you pull up with your car, you get dropped off here, and you can go all the way into the lobby. You see that beautiful chandelier here. And you would never even know it's here. From walking on the street, they did a very, very good job of making this very hidden, but it's very elegant in here. I wish I could take you guys in the lobby. Maybe one of these days I'll take you guys up into one of the units. And then overlooking this way, this is 220 Central Park South. But it is quite nice. So here again, the garage doors will open, you could pull in, and then you loop around that end. You walk all the way into the lobby and up to your apartment. Very, very, very cool. Let's go ahead and get back on Central Park South now. Hey, Western Mass Dave. God bless as always. Sunshine after rain is here, and the one and the only New England Crypto. Rich New Yorker says one of the apartments is right now for rent for $35,000 a month. Yeah, so the apartment, and I believe the one that's for rent now, is actually on the other side of this building. So there's a slight difference, and maybe we'll walk around the block so I could show you. But I think there's 2 apartments, or there's one that's not high up in that main tower. It's on a lower floor, but it's quite beautiful. Really, really beautiful. And yeah, that one is for rent for $35,000 a month. I think it's a spectacular unit, and it's furnished too, so you don't have to buy any furniture. NBA Elias, welcome. We were just checking out the driveway of Steinway Tower. Only 60 residences. This is the 57th Street subway station where you can get the F train. Now 57th Street's a busy street. It's a very wide two-way street, and they're currently doing construction. They're ripping up the road, as you can see. Yeah, Dock 7's is the penthouse at Amman, New York, sold for $135 million. And that's a beautiful, beautiful unit. There's been some record-breaking sales here in New York City. Recently, about 2 weeks ago, well, actually 3 weeks ago, the duplex at Central Park Tower sold and closed for, I think, $110 million. And that was the Eklund Gomes team at Douglas Elliman. So everyone, this is the building that I'm talking about. This is where the other apartments are. So not in that main super tall tower, they're here. But I think this is really beautiful. You can see the main plaque here, Steinway and Sons Pianos. And then if you look in here, this is actually the rendering. I'll try to get you a look at some of just the beautiful detail on the ceiling. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that spectacular? The detail, just the artwork, the crown moldings on the ceiling, it's just unreal. that's the rendering or the model of the building. So I did the kid before he did. What do you guys think? I think it's spectacular. It's unbelievable. And here's the other entrance. So this is the front entrance. So you go right through here and all the way back, and it'll connect to you. You can actually see a little bit through the garage. But I love it. I think it's fantastic. And then you see that beautiful 432 Park Avenue in the distance. Now, hopefully over the next coming weeks, I'm going to be able to take you guys inside some very unique units. One of which being at the Olympic Tower. And one of which being right there at the Steinway Tower. DC is here. Good to see you. Melissa 2087. Welcome. So let's go ahead and get back on. Go ahead and get back on Central Park South, and we'll head over to Columbus Circle. Now, from kind of, I mean, you guys have been, I mean, most people here have been joining the stream for a long time. You know the outside of 432, right? You know the outside of Steinway, 157, Central Park Tower, 220 Central Park South. Here's the question. I'll cut right to the chase. You ready? Here it is. Here's the question. If money wasn't an issue, okay, but you had to choose one of the buildings on Billionaires Row to live in, which building would it be? Would it be 432? Would it be Steinway Tower right here? Would it be 157 West 57th Street, Central Park Tower, or 220 Central Park South? What do you think? Rich New Yorker says 157. Jeff says 432. Wow, a lot more 432 Park Avenues than I would have expected. Wow. NBA Elias is Steinway Tower. Chloe's is 220 Central Park. Alan says Steinway, hands down, no questions asked. Professor Dario says Steinway Tower. Someone says Central Park Tower. Wow, Steinway. I think I sold the hell out of Steinway tonight. We even got Western Mass Dave to say Steinway Tower. Unit 832 says 432 Park. I'm surprised we've only gotten one 157. Lena Sandoval saying 432. Briner saying 432 Park. I would say 157. 157 is my favorite. It has the most perfectly centered view on Central Park. But I think any of them will do, for sure. I feel as if Steinway has that exclusivity. This is my old building right here. 106 Central Park South. Man, I love living in this thing. It was so beautiful. If you look all the way into the back, there's two elevator banks, one of which will take you to the northernmost tower. The other one will take you to the south kind of style. And it's beautiful. Really, really beautiful. 24/7, 365 doorman. It's solid building. And it's not affiliated with Trump Park East. So there's two entrances. You have Trump Park East, which is here, and then you have 106 Central Park South, which is here. Great building. Jeff says you have to go to 220 Central Park South more. I really don't remember it at all. All right, we might as well take a trip there right now. I'll show you guys the front entrance of 220 Central Park South, and I'll also show you the back entrance with the main valet. Wow, NBA Elias. It says, Tom, I would trade a hi-hat Steinway for Sutton Place any day. Sutton Place is beautiful for sure. Now, the only thing I'll say, I mean, all of them are beautiful. I mean, you can't deny that. I don't think there's any debate that says, oh, this building's not great. They're all beautiful, don't get me wrong. But if I had to be critical and critique 220 Central Park South, here's my critique. This would be my critique. I think the windows are a little small. Now, I understand what they were trying to go for, okay? They were trying to create the appeal of 15 Central Park West, which is one of the greatest buildings of all time in New York City. It's right over here to the right. Just me personally, I think the windows are a little small. Some of the units seem a tad bit dark, but it's a stunning building, absolutely stunning. It's different, it's not these glass cascaded, towers. It's nice, and it's the best-selling building on Billionaires Row. So that's the only thing I'd say. 432 Park Avenue is so unique because every single window in the building are these massive 10 by 10 foot windows. It's unbelievable. It's like you could stand in the frame of the window. It's a very, very unique experience. All right, so we just passed the New York Athletic Club, which is beautiful, but I'll tell you about this building right here. The one with all the construction. This is a co-op. This is 200 Central Park South. I love this building. It's very unique because a lot of the units have these wraparound balconies, and you have a front row view of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It's very cool. And then in the distance, you can see the Central Park Tower and 220 Central Park South. But I love this building. It's like the curvature of the balconies. Very cool. Melissa 2087, what's up? Cosmo is here, good to see you. Middle Age Grinds is staying at Park Terrace Hotel by Bryant Park in December. Awesome. Hope you have a great time. Will, it's odd, the memory is I will return one day. Please return. Please come back to New York. It's a great city. There's a lot to offer. Miss Supernatural 2024 says, I don't like New York. That's not true. Of course you do. You're watching a live stream about New York City. Connor, what's going on? Good to see you. So let's continue to walk down a little bit further, and I'm going to show you the main entrance, the 220 Central Park South. And then we'll wrap around the back side and we'll look at the valet. Oscar, welcome. Now this is 1 Central Park West, this big black building. That's the Trump International Hotel and Tower. I actually think that building has the best views. If you ever get a chance to go either stay in the hotel or go up to one of the residential units, go into a Central Park facing unit and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly what I'm talking about. Because you get the uniqueness of looking at Central Park with the backdrop of every single building on Billionaires Row. All right, so my friends, this American flag is stunning. I've never seen a better looking American flag in my life. This is probably the best looking American flag I've ever seen. And it's hanging right here at 220 Central Park South. I know Brad's brain, Tesla was ripping again tonight. I think us as a collective on the live stream, the broadcast, we probably made the call of a lifetime on Tesla. But what do you guys think? It's very classic. I like how elegant the facade is. It's not, you know, caked in glass. It just feels solid. I really, really like it. I kind of like how they have that green trim around the edge there. And just look at the fixtures, like the light fixtures. The detail is amazing. Yeah, Professor Darius, did you like the doors? Now, if you like the doors to the front, wait till we see the valet, which is around the other side. That's on 58th Street. So we're gonna have to make a left here. This restaurant that we're coming up on, this is called Maria. This closed down for a short time, but it is reopened and it has a new dining room. So you've been to Maria before, but it's been, let's say it's been over a year. You can see an all new dining room and it looks to be pretty busy on the inside, at least at the bar anyway. It's quite nice. PT says happy humid Tuesday. Thank you so much. It is definitely very humid out. It is, I think, 84 degrees. It's probably dropped a little bit, but well over 70% humidity today. And look at how convenient this is. You have an entrance to the 59th Street subway, ACE, BD, and 1 trains. You're right at Columbus Circle. If Western Mass Dave is in the chat, Dave, get a load of this little guy. Look at this beagle. My beagle's going on 13 years old now. It's so funny. Now, I'll make another critique of the neighborhood. If I were to make another critique of the neighborhood, it'd be this. The city should kind of clean up Columbus Circle a little bit. Particularly over here with all the biker people trying to sell the bike. The beagle didn't like these 2 little dogs that were crossing the other way. But beagles are always sniffing around, man. My beagle does the same thing. Always sniffing around. Anyway, you know, because oftentimes, mostly during the day, right? You know what, we might as well go to 15 Central Park West since we're doing the full Billionaires Road tour tonight. These bike guys can be a little aggressive on the tourists. That's my only critique. Yeah, Solo 401s is good trackers. They're good hunting dogs too if you're a hunter. The only thing though, if you're gonna get a beagle in New York City, you really got to make sure you have the time to let that thing blow off some energy. That's not the type of dog that you could get and leave in the apartment. It's not going to work out. If anyone here has a beagle or has had one, particularly when they are like puppies, you got to be like gassing that thing out 24/7, running with it. I mean, it's kind of like a Jack Russell Terrier. They don't stop. All right, so the building with the gold top is 220 Central Park South. That's the one we were just looking at. Again, different architecture. I think the windows are a little small, but it's beautiful nonetheless. This building up here is nicknamed the Limestone Building, and this was completed in 2008 during the depths of the financial crisis, but it sold really well. And there's a lot of notable people that live there. The former CEO of Goldman Sachs, Lloyd Blankfein, has an apartment in there. This is the Trump International Hotel and Tower. You have Jean Georges through door number 1. Door number 2 is the hotel, and door number 3 is the residences. If I ever get a listing at 1 Central Park West, and assuming that it's a unit that faces Central Park, you guys will really understand what I'm talking about when I say it has the best views in the city. Because if you live on Billionaires Row, right? Let's say if you live in Steinway Tower, you can't see the beautiful architecture of Steinway Tower, Central Park Tower, 432 Park Avenue, 53 West 53rd from the building, because like you're sandwiched in the buildings. But if you're here, you have just like this beautiful line of those Billionaires Road style buildings, which are absolutely fantastic. But this is considered one of the most sought after buildings in New York. 15 Central Park West, beautiful building. There's 2 towers. What I would advise if you're interested in getting a unit here, even though the West Tower is higher, try to buy in the front one, because if you can get a unit that sits just above the tree line of Central Park, it's an incredible experience. Because a lot of times, and this is what we were talking about on a previous live stream, many people will go in, they'll look at an apartment. Now, when you look at an apartment, are you sitting or standing? You're standing. Very seldom when you're looking at an apartment, you're sitting down. But when you actually buy the apartment and you're utilizing the space, you sit down most of the time. So when you're looking at one of these apartments on Billionaires Row, I think it's important to spend a lot of time sitting in the living room, sitting in the kitchen, so you can kind of gauge the views. And if you buy a unit that's just sitting on top of the tree line at Central Park, when you're sitting down for dinner or when you're sitting down reading a book. It's the most unreal thing. It feels like you're floating and hovering over Central Park with all the Billionaires rowing in the background. It's incredible. But let's say if you're 80 stories in the sky and you're sitting down, well, your view is just the sky. You don't really kind of get to see anything. It's an interesting kind of way to think about it, right? That's what I tell clients all the time. I say, if you want to see this unit and it's furnished, go and sit down in every room. All right, looks like someone's either coming in or out. This is the main roundabout here at 15 Central Park West. Hey, neighbor Bob. This is Tom. Crazy question. Can you purchase properties with precious metals or cryptocurrencies? Yes. It just depends on if the seller will accept that form of payment or the sponsor if you're buying new development. But we've had offers on some of our properties in Bitcoin, but never transacted in it. But these are really, really heavy duty gates. They usually close them late at night, which I get. What do you guys think? I think it's really, really pretty. So let's go ahead and head back to 58th Street. You know what, actually let's head up one and I'll show you the other side where this is like this really, really nice fountain at the back side of 15 Central Park West, and then I'll take you to 220 Central Park South, but the main valet. Oh wow, New England crypto. This is, I know a guy who bought a house with Ethereum about 2 years ago. 2 years ago, so that's a pretty expensive house now, right? I think Ethereum has doubled since then. Or maybe that was the previous bull market. Personally, I would never spend my Bitcoin on something. That's just me. I like to accumulate and hoard it in cold storage. I would never ever trade my Bitcoin for an apartment, ever in a million years. It's just me. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and make this right and head back towards Central Park West. And you'll be able to see a few things. Number one, you'll be able to see the main parking garage at 15 Central Park West. And then you'll be able to see in the main courtyard where they have like barbecue stuff. They have this really, really nice like kind of wading pool slash fountain. It's quite nice. Hey, Colton Manning. What's up? Good to see you. So here's the garage. Or as they like to call it, service entrance. Oh, nice. New England Crypto says he mined it. He didn't buy any of it. That's very good. Now check this out. Doesn't that look nice? Beautiful, beautiful. And there's on either side you have this really, really nice seating area. But not a lot of people know about this. You can come out here at night, read a book. Quite nice, isn't it? Hey, Chloe, thank you so much for your generous $5 donation. So, hello, Tom. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to do these live streams. We appreciate it. Well, thank you. I appreciate the viewership. Yeah, I think this is a lot of fun. I think the streams are fun. We get to meet a lot of cool people. Get to talk about interesting topics. It's very real estate heavy tonight, but I feel as if these streams demystify some of the buildings here in New York.
I know you're serious.
Wow, it says it's 81 degrees,
But
so
like, you know, it's too.
temperature dropped a little bit. Virginia says we're freezing here in Argentina. Well, congratulations on the win. 2-0 victory over Canada. And I think Messi scored in the 55th minute too. I wasn't able to watch it live. I definitely will watch the highlights. But this is the main entrance. And the staff are really on it. Once a cab pulls up, boom, guy comes out. They'll call the cab for you, everything. It's an awesome place. And I love the fixtures. Similar lighting fixtures to 220 Central Park South, right? Maybe not the same, but similar fixtures. I just think in general, talking about 220 Central Park South, Vornado just does a really good job. If you talk about the Penn District or the Penn 2 project, Vornado also did a spectacular job there. I mean, just totally changed the look and the feel of Penn. Hey, Tammy says, do I ever do any of the walks in Brooklyn Heights? Your daughter's moving there for an internship. I think we've done a standalone walking tour before in Brooklyn Heights. Brooklyn Heights is nice. That's a really, really high rent district over there. Beautiful, beautiful brownstones. I think back in my college days, I used to play another school in Brooklyn Heights. At least I think it was in Brooklyn Heights. Is it St. Francis? I think we used to play them in soccer. I think St. Francis may be in Brooklyn Heights. But yeah, wow, that neighborhood's awesome. That's an awesome, awesome neighborhood. We'd also play Cosmo's school too. Cosmo's scary. Baruch always had a good team. Always had a really, really good team. That's my favorite one. 157. But if you guys are enjoying the live stream so far tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. And if you enjoy these talks about real estate and the financial markets, we write a free investing newsletter called Behind the Street that we send out to all of our Walks in Wall Street subscribers every other Thursday, right as the market closes. We just sent out the last newsletter on Friday because Thursday was the 4th of July. I think you guys are gonna like this article. So go ahead and scan the QR code on your screen, punch in your email, and it'll take you to our Substack. We have about 2 years of archived research, as well as some exclusive New York City property tours right here. Dino 5s. This is 81 now at 10:48 p.m. That's very warm for anywhere so late in the evening. Yeah, it's crazy, crazy. Very, very humid. Bear 65 says, I want to live in 53 West 53rd. Ah, very nice. So, I have a friend of mine who really, really likes 53 West 53rd Street. Really, really likes it. I think it's okay. But for me, the units feel a little bit weird in terms of the layouts, and it has too many angular designs, and a lot of the support beams block the views. So if you go on Street Easy and you go through some of the photos at 53 West 53rd Street, you can kind of understand what I'm talking about. Maybe it's just preference, right? Maybe it's just a preference. But I kind of like unobstructed views. Like the beams are like all angular and there's like triangles. I don't know, I don't really like it. Someone says, what part of New York City has the greatest return on investment in real estate? What has the most potential? I mean, I would say if you really, really want to be a shark and you want to be a contrarian, I think you're going to see the most opportunity in distressed commercial real estate, but like very, very good commercial assets that are being sold into foreclosure. I think there's going to be some big deals, really good deals there. We talked about 5 East 59th Street, that was a good deal. There's a few more coming up. And depending on how you model it or structure it, you could try to do a conversion to condos, which may be expensive, or you could just tear the whole thing down. It just depends, but I think that area, across all major cities, I think, is probably going to be the greatest opportunity. Hey, Room C, what's up? Good to see you. Hopefully you're preparing for earnings season. We were just talking about Friday kicks off earnings season. We're going to hear from JP Morgan Chase, all the major financials, including American Express and Discover later on. And we could use that as a little bit of a leading indicator. We're going to be checking the 30, 60, 90-day delinquencies and the like, but we heard from Fed Chair Jerome Powell today as he testified. And I think everyone's just waiting for inflation data. CPI is out Thursday, PPI is out on Friday. And this market's been fantastic. It's been a really, really good market. Tesla looks to have bottomed. Amazon's looking pretty good. Now, the thing with Amazon that what we were talking about, go to the investor relations page for Amazon and read the investor letter. I think the thing I'm most excited about is the e-commerce business is finally turning a profit. Last quarter they had the first quarter of double-digit operating margins in company history, and I think we're on the other end of the cloud computing bear market. 2021 you had this blow off top in cloud computing spending for AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. You had it taper off a little bit. I think it's going to pick back up. And Amazon should be a pretty big cash cow. Now, there's been some articles, people saying that they're concerned that Jeff Bezos is selling a lot of stock. But look, I mean, the guy has the vast majority of his net worth tied up in Amazon. And if you look at his sales, yeah, he's selling billions of dollars worth of stock, but he needs to fund Blue Origin, right? That's his, passion project. So I don't really put so much weighting on insider stock sales, not too much. I put more weighting on insider stock buying, because here's kind of how it was explained to me. I'm not saying I don't put any weighting on it at all, but think about it like this. If you're a CEO or an insider at a major company, right, multi-millionaire, in Jeff Bezos' case, a billionaire, you sell your stock for a million different reasons. Maybe you want to buy another yacht. Maybe you want to buy another jet. Maybe you want to fund Blue Origin so you can go to Mars, right? Whatever billionaires do. But there's only really one reason why you ever buy the stock. So there's a million reasons why you should sell, but there's only one reason why anyone in their right mind would buy, is if they think the price of the stock is undervalued and it's going to go up. So that's why I put more weighting on insider stock buys. Because if the insiders, they know the business inside and out, at least hopefully. And if they say, wow, good things are coming on the horizon, we're going to go in the market and buy stock. That shows confidence in the market. Anyway, so guys, this is a 9-foot clearance here at 220 Central Park South. You can kind of see into the valet. It wraps around in this L shape. And it will come out on the other side, just a little bit further down here before the FDNY. But it is very nice. It looks like they have the gate closed. Try to give you the best shot I can. So this is 220 Central Park South. This is this main big gate. You have that beautiful waterfall. It's very nice. If you could listen very closely, you could hear it. And there's actually 2 towers here. And right behind it is Central Park Tower, which was developed by Xtel. Everything here is just very well done. So you have 220 Central Park South and Central Park Tower right next to each other. And you have the main Nordstrom, and then you also have the private garage entrance to Central Park Tower. You would think that they would clean up kind of the garbage a little bit, I mean, they're selling $250 million apartments in here. And right outside the main driveway is this mountain of garbage. I don't know, not to be super, super critical, but, you know, if I was the developer, if I was Gary, I would just maybe mandate that they have some sort of collector bin instead of just the trash bags there. I don't know, not to be hypercritical, but some of the apartments are $100 million. It's just not, doesn't feel right, I guess. Hey, Victor C. What's up, Victor? Look at how beautiful this Yamaha piano is. Like a crisp white color. But if you guys are enjoying the live stream so far tonight, feel free to leave a like on video. And click the subscribe button if you're new. We do these live streams every day, starting at 8:45 usually. But this building is a real beauty right here. 7th Avenue, West 58th. It's called Alwyn Court. What do you guys think of Alwyn Court? We've seen it a million times, but it's one of my all-time favorites in New York. I like the contrast with the older New York and the new New York. Jessica Andrew, good to see you. Welcome to Carnegie Hall, New York City. Now I'm really excited for them to take down the scaffolding here finally. I don't even remember what the facade of Carnegie Hall looks like anymore. The scaffolding seems like it's been up for years. So we're now going to go all the way down 7th. In the distance you can see Times Square. Yeah, the LT process will be interesting to see how Dell and Intel AI laptops sell. Well, speaking of Dell, Michael Dell lives all the way up there. The 89th and the 90th floors, I believe. The duplex, all the way at the top of 157. Dell is really, really poised to capitalize on AI.
Okay, I'm starting to put it.
I'm just curious why this is the first time we hear about it.
What's up, Lemonade? Wow, that's crazy. I'm not sure if you guys heard that. That guy was buying a hot dog from that vendor, and the vendor told the guy $8. $8. Crazy, crazy, crazy. $8 for a hot dog now in New York. That's wild. Man, I guess inflation's really killing a lot of people, killing the vendors. Or he just took that guy for everything he had. Damn, $8. I wonder what they're gonna make out of this big vacant lot here. Anyway, MB Elias. You know, speaking of Costco, everybody's putting in the chat the $1.50 hot dogs for Costco. Costco's just been an unbelievable performer in terms of the stock. There was that great article in the Wall Street Journal over the weekend we were talking about, specifically Costco, BJ's, what was the other one? Sam's Club was the other one. And the article was talking about the fastest growing demographic for Costco. And I was so surprised. You know, you would think like boomers or big Costco fans, but 60% year-over-year growth for Gen Z buying Costco subscriptions. Incredible. And the article was interviewing a bunch of, you know, new college grads and things like that. And they were saying that, yeah, we live with roommates. Everyone, we buy one Costco membership, and then we make 1 or 2 Costco runs a month, and we bulk purchase all our food to try to save money. So Costco has managed to become pretty big with young folks. Over 60% year-over-year growth for Gen Z buying Costco memberships. I've always said that Costco is the original SaaS model, right? Subscription as a service, software as a service. Very, very predictable revenue for them. This is BNP Paribas. This is the French investment bank here. There was a helicopter that crash landed on that building. This was probably 5 years ago now. Wow, nobody's shares. I bought 2 cheeseburgers for $6 in New York City last week. Awesome. the LT Prod.
But I don't like one street. So I knew
Well, I think Walmart is already gaining a lot of customers in the 100K plus. Now, last earnings call, the CEO of Walmart said they've been doing a really good job of winning those high-income customers away from Whole Foods, but he wasn't convinced that he would be able to keep them because he claims that Whole Food shoppers are shopping for a different reason. They want the experience, but I'm not so sure about that. I'm not so sure. I think they're going to be able to retain those customers. I really do. Walmart's been another really good performance stock too. Let's check this place out. This place is gonna open soon. This dim sum restaurant. Or maybe it just opened. Our good pal, Western Mass Dave, sent this to me. Din Tai Fung. Looks really good. I've yet to try it, but apparently it's open now. Anyone been here before to this chain? Wow, the LT Prods. Do you think Whole Foods will be scaled back at some point? I don't know. I think Whole Foods was a really good acquisition by Amazon because, and I've said this before, I think the key factor for the next kind of leg up in grocery is going to be same-day delivery. And Amazon has the infrastructure, obviously, with the logistics, the 3PL, and so does Walmart. Both companies have the infrastructure already to do something like that, so. Cosmo, any thoughts on this place? I'm excited for it. I'm definitely gonna try it. Dave says it opens July 18th. Got it. MD's Tom, it's amazing. I'm gonna have to try it. I'm excited. MB Elias is Tom. My neighbor just got prescriptions from Amazon. It was cheaper and it was flawless. So is that through PillPack? I remember Amazon acquired PillPack. Yeah, I think Amazon, Walmart, and Costco are really going to crush it. I think those are going to be the top 3 contenders. That's what I believe. I believe whoever can increase convenience with same-day delivery with fresh produce is going to win. Now, they do have like some fresh direct, all that stuff, but I've heard mixed reviews that the produce isn't fresh, it's a nightmare, the delivery's not good, it doesn't run on time. I mean, who knows if that's true, but if you can really nail that down, nobody is going to be able to compete. It's going to be impossible for anyone to compete if you can go on your app, on your phone, or talk to your Alexa and say, hey Alexa, order my grocery list. And it automatically orders it for you, right? You're gonna have a connected smart, refrigerator, where your refrigerator is gonna be able to know every single item in your refrigerator, and it's gonna be able to tell you if you're low on something. If you're low on milk, your AI is gonna say, do you want me to reorder the milk for you? It's, you know, almost out. There's about a quarter of your milk left. And your Alexa's just gonna reorder it for you. And no one's gonna be able to like they're doing some work on Morgan Stanley too. Yeah, we'll take a detour to 8th Avenue. I can't stomach Times Square tonight. It's too humid for Times Square. Geez, the same day seems unrealistic in rural areas, but you can see it happening in cities. Well, I was reading, go take a look at the Amazon investor letter by Andy Jassy. And he talks about how they're going to get very, very serious on drone delivery. And Walmart's getting serious on this too. And if anything, I think if you're in a rural location, right, and you have a big fulfillment center, and this is why I'm so bullish on those two companies, is because they already have the infrastructure. You're not going to have these massive capital outlays. The capex isn't going to be huge because they already have these fulfillment centers. They have the networks, they have the trucks, they have the big, fulfillment centers. So it's going to be pick, pack, and ship at those centers. It doesn't necessarily have to be at the stores. And they could either truck it to your house or do drone delivery. So we'll see. Would anyone here order something via drone? Would you guys allow Amazon to deliver your groceries by drone? Yes or no? What do you think? Maybe some people don't want to do it. Gene S says it's true. We do have an Amazon fulfillment center just 10 miles away. Wow, everyone's saying no, absolutely not. Huh, interesting. We only have one yes from Joseph Hardaway. Sam M is yes, most people are no. Robin says, I don't want machines flying into my house. Well, they're not gonna fly into your house. They'll fly like right on your driveway and, drop your stuff off. It's coming. I'm just telling you, it's going to come. That is the next progression, I think. In some parts of America, you have full self-driving vehicles delivering Domino's pizza. I think that's in Arizona. I think Flagstaff, Arizona, something like that. What's the pizza chain that has autonomous delivery? With Cruise, I think, is the partnership. Someone says they already use drones to deliver weed. They also have submarines that deliver weed too. You ever see the cartels? They have like submersible vehicles, like submarines, delivering, you know, all the cocaine and all the fentanyl. Anyway, if you guys are enjoying the live stream, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. Now, all right, it's getting late. I gotta ask a serious question, and this is just a question. Thoughts on these pop-up weed shops that are all over the city? Thumbs up or thumbs down on the marijuana shops, the pop-up smoke shops that look like this? I'm not a big fan. I'm just gonna be honest, I'm not a fan. But I'll let you in on a little secret. A lot of the commercial operators right now are very, very desperate for tenants, as you can imagine. And a lot of those weed operators will actually offer the landlord more money than what they're asking. One of our buildings, these weed shops offered us more money than what we were asking. But we would never, ever, ever rent to them, because if we rented to a weed shop, we would totally destroy the valuation of the condos that we sold to people, and we would never sell any more of the condos. So I think they drag the property, I think they drag the area down, in my opinion. Now what we're looking at right here on 46th Street and 8th Avenue, this is the construction site for the Torch building. So if you want to look up some of the renderings, you can just Google Torch NYC. Cosmo says, I wouldn't mind living over a weed store if it's a nice one. Okay. We'll see. This is Restaurant Row. Tommy guys says legal weed is a tax generator. Oh, for sure. So let me be clear. I'm pro the legalization of weed, but just like everything else, the government here in New York City, here's another weed smoke shop, Smoky Eyes. Smoky Eyes Smoke Shop. I'm getting smoky eyes from all this freaking humidity. Anyway, the city totally botched the legalization of weed. Totally botched it. Now you have all these individual smoke shops. They should have made it very, very structured. They should have made the process very, very difficult. But now it's just like a free-for-all with these individual shops, and it looks horrible, in my opinion. You may disagree, that's just my opinion. On the Port Authority bus terminal. Ah, a lot of Argentina fans.
Package. They dressed alike. Yeah.
Ooh. I think that guy just hit into something. Wow, lots of Argentina fans tonight. I like to see it. Maybe I'll get a Leo Messi jersey. I'd like to have a nice signed Leo Messi jersey hanging up in the office. I think that would be killer. It'd be awesome. What do you guys think? How cool would that be? When I build out the office, right? Have a really, really nice number 10 Argentina jersey framed right over the monitor. What do you think? I just have to figure out a way to get it signed. Maybe I'll go to a Miami FC game or an Inter Miami game and see if we can get it signed. I'd frame that up, put it in the office. I'm in the process of building out a really, really, really nice office in Miami, which is essentially just going to be the primary bedroom converted into an office. Professor Dario. This is you have one which is dedicated to your nephew. That's awesome. I could only imagine what Little Buenos Aires is like tonight in Miami. They must be going crazy over there. Here's another Messi jersey here. And right here. Someone's talking about the SpaceX IPO. I think that may go public on that new Texas exchange, probably. Yeah, Andy, it's true. Miami is totally different. Totally different. It's awesome. Different in a good way, I think. Now, you guys gotta go check out the video I uploaded earlier today of a full walking tour of the Miami Design District. And in the link in the description of the video of the Miami Design District, I put the link to that Wall Street Journal article we were talking about as it relates to LVMH, Bernard Arnault, and the huge bet he made on Miami's design district. And I think the bet paid off, and I think the bet's going to continue to pay off. It's just an unbelievable area. Unbelievable area. we've been walking down 8th Avenue a lot more recently, but I gotta say, 8th Avenue is absolutely filthy, disgusting. Just being honest. Hey, Zozo Bob, what's up? Good to see you. And Ron says, did you see the Copa America or the Euro? So I haven't really been paying much attention to the Euro, but I've been paying some attention to Copa America. Obviously tonight, Argentina beat Canada 2-0. I think Messi scored in the 55th minute. And the United States didn't even make it out of the group stage. Hey, what's up, Phil? I think it's almost close to midnight now, isn't it? Since we started late again.
Come on, tell me a $1 piece.
Wow, looks like a whole Argentina watch party over here. Could you imagine what it must be like if you're Leo Messi? The only place you can kind of live a normal life is in the United States of America. Think about it. Because soccer is really not super popular here. So when he moved to Florida to play for the Miami soccer team, you know, he was in Publix, he was going out with his kids, and there wasn't a bunch of paparazzi and not a bunch of fans, you know, breathing down the guy's neck. I mean, could you imagine if Messi tried to go outside in Barcelona just walking around with his family? It would cause a riot. It would absolutely cause a riot. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there's no soccer fans in America, that's not what I'm saying. But to the degree, like, take a person like myself, right? I would consider myself a huge soccer fan. I played all throughout high school, I played in college. But if I saw Leo Messi in Publix, I'd probably leave the guy alone, honestly. I'd probably be like, oh wow, Messi, cool. But I wouldn't, you know, freaking hammer the guy. I think that's how most Americans are. They're like, ah, cool, Messi. But in Barcelona, oh my God. Oh my God. That'd be insane. So I'm glad that he's in Florida now, where he can kind of live a normal life, normal-ish life. He definitely still needs security, but he can kind of live a normal life. Zozo Bob says, but soccer is popular in Miami. Yeah, soccer is very popular, but you can't compare the degree of popularity to Europe. You can't. It's just it's crazy. Like I played soccer with a bunch of kids from Europe, right? They came over here to play soccer in college. I played with some semi-professional people, and it's not comparable. And the way it was kind of described to me is the following. In the United States, in high school, in middle school, most kids, yeah, they'll play soccer, but they'll also play baseball. And then they'll also dabble in football and lacrosse, and they'll kind of dilly-dabble between different sports. In other countries, it's soccer 24/7, 365. There's no off season, right? Like many of the people that I played soccer with growing up, they also played tennis. They also played baseball. You know, in Europe, there's no one that's playing baseball. Okay. It's soccer 24/7, 365. That's all they talk about. So it's different. It's different to a big degree. So many Argentina fans coming out of Madison Square Garden. This is cool, we get to see this. Oh my gosh. There's probably over 1,000 Argentina fans here. I feel like I'm in Buenos Aires. Look at this guy with the drum. So I'm trying to get my 4-year-old into soccer. I think soccer has a great future in the United States. I do too. I think it has a really good future in the US. It's getting there slowly but surely. Again, like I said, you know, many people will say, like, how come some very, very small countries, like Croatia and the like, they have such good soccer teams, but the population is so small? If you're going by population, the United States, you have an amazing team. It's the focus and it's the community around it. You know, people in those small towns are nurtured through club teams and academy teams. It's like a very, very cult-like thing. So instead of just, you know, playing soccer all willy-nilly, they have these very, very organized club teams that they have tier-ranked academies. So you go tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. They're trying to do that in the United States with like the young Red Bulls Academy, and then in hopes you could train the kid to, you know, be on the New York Red Bulls, things like that. But it's just so much more advanced overseas. Clarence, if you're looking to get your kid, if you're in I'm not sure if you're in New York City, but if you are, my former college soccer coach, who then went on to be the soccer coach at LIU Brooklyn, he played professional in Croatia for 5 years. He's really, really incredible guy. He owns a really good soccer club in Brooklyn called Park Slope United. And I used to coach for that club when he just started the company. This was like 10 years ago. And he was my coach. He was starting a company. He's like, hey, do you want to coach these kids? I was like, sure. And he's built out a really, really good club team. A lot of the coaches have played professional in like minor leagues overseas, in Croatia, in Uruguay. So if you're interested, if you send me an email, I can put you in touch with him. He used to coach me in college at Park Slope United. And they take it but I'm just warning you, they take it like full tilt serious. It's like a full academy thing. It's pretty wild. So Nathan Bell is his name. He's a really, really good guy. Super smart. Used to be the coach for LIU Brooklyn. All right, everyone, here we are at the brand new Penn Station. Empire State Building here. Let's see if we can go back here without it buffering. Yeah, I'm not sure if anyone's like really into soccer, but a very good player that goes by the name of Luka Modric. He's a Croatian player. Oh, look at the Billy Joel piano. So my old soccer coach, Nathan Bell, who now runs Park Slope United, used to train with some of the top Croatian players like Luka Modric and the like, and let's just say very good. And I think they're probably going to build the top academy team in New York City, Park Slope United. It's just they take it so. And I mean, I always loved to play soccer, right? I took it very serious. But at that level, it's like they take it not too serious for me, but just it's like everything for them. It's on and off. It's just, you know, if that's what you want to do, that's what it takes to, you know, if you want to be a professional. But all right, everyone. I think I'm going to cut the stream here. We're going to have a lot to talk about on Thursday and Friday. Just a quick recap. Thursday, we're going to get the CPI numbers. Friday, we're going to get the PPI numbers. And earnings season officially kicks off. So we're going to do deep dives into all the major companies that report earnings right here on the live stream. Starting off with JP Morgan Chase. So all of the big banks are kicking off earnings season yet again. We're into the second half of the year. And as always, we could use bank earnings as a proxy for what's going to happen down the line in the U.S. economy. If you want to sign up to receive all of our free financial research, scan the QR code on your screen, punch in your email. We publish on our Substack every other Thursday, starting at usually right around the closing bell. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. Signing off from New York City. Have a wonderful Thursday, or Wednesday tomorrow. and we'll meet right back here at 8:45. Hopefully we're on time, we can go over the Brooklyn Bridge. So Tiger, appreciate it. God bless, congratulations to Argentina. Joseph Hardaway, Professor Dario, here's some more Argentina fans here. MD, Troy Atman, I appreciate you as always. Clarence, Mach E, Tiger, Western Mass Dave, thank you, thank you. Yeah, see you guys tomorrow.